Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur. I nearly said you there. At the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. Ireland's only answer to the great Harry Kane. Bringing you a pre-match preview of Tottenham Timbers versus Liverpool Lightning. And in all seriousness, no, that's what it will be when the European Super League comes around, though. You know what I mean? Tottenham Timbers versus Liverpool Lightning. It's going to be a joke. But look, we're just coming back more or less with the same again, but with different faces, plus Will and myself. So, Matty, what do you think on the... First of all, actually, what's your opinions on Jose getting sacked this morning?
It's a really strange feeling that I think every Spurs fan is feeling at the moment with regards to the Super League and Jose Mourinho. Look, anyone who watches me, and look, I've been on here as well, I did think it was, we were coming to the end of Jose Mourinho's tenure at Spurs. I think the way I described it was he was gone beyond the point of no return rather than he was imminently going to be sacked. But as much as I wanted him to go, I didn't want him to go now. The timing, Leeds scored. The timing is all over the place for me with regards to the announcement with the Super League last night and with the Cup final coming up in 6 days. There's something in there that isn't sitting right with me. And if this announcement had come next Monday, I would have been sitting here beaming and absolutely delighted for everything that was said about it and all that, but not now.
Yeah, 100%. And big old Parker, by the way. Sean, quickly just get your opinions on it as well. What do you think of the Jose sack?
Look, man, to be honest with you, I've been a big fan of Jose. You know, he is a serial winner. That's what he does. He wins cups, he wins leagues. He makes teams defend. I don't think he was capable of doing what he could normally do with the players that we had. I think he was left in the lurch with no backing, no solid defensive line to even get him going. I think it was a little bit harsh the way that they just kind of dumped it on him. I think the decision was kind of made really after the 2-2 draw. And a lot of it, I think, had to do with, again, Bale sitting on the bench. I know Levy really wanted Bale to be in that. Again, what do you do?
He deserves to be on the bench.
Oh, yeah, completely agree, man. I completely agree. And obviously, Jose agrees, and Jose knows what he's doing. You know, he sees him week in, week out. He knows what he's going to do. So I do think that the timing of it all is pretty suspicious as to how they've brought it out now. But look, it is what it is. We just kind of have to deal with Jose being gone and seeing exactly what's going to bring the club in the next couple of days.
Yeah, 100%. Well, lads, before we do get into talking about the European Super League, Will, I would ask you about Jose, but we already got your thoughts on it earlier on. But Matty, who would you like to come in now next?
It's a tough decision because the next choice of manager for Spurs isn't simply a name or who can get the best out of these players. I think Daniel Levy has a massive decision to make. And does he go down the Pochettino type of manager route, or does he go down the Mourinho type manager route? And what I mean by that is he going for a manager who will begin a new rebuild and will try and do what Pochettino did, or will he go for a manager who will try and do what Mourinho failed to do, and that is bringing us short-term success? I think given the timing of this sacking and what we're hearing coming out of Germany and stuff like that, I do think Tottenham will be moving for Julian Nagelsmann, and they'll be doing it quite quickly. I think that as well falls into, I suppose, their announcement of, or I think it was Fabrizio Romano said Spurs will work straight away to get a manager in place for June. We know Nagelsmann is at Leipzig till the end of the season, no matter what. So I think a lot of things that have been said there does kind of play into the whole Nagelsmann scenario. But my concern is if we do go for a new rebuild, another manager who will start from the bottom and try and work this club back up to where we think it belongs to be, I think that could spell the end of Harry Kane's time at Spurs, because he doesn't have the time left in his career to stick around for a rebuild anymore. And I think he's almost as good as said that in the press. And it'll be heartbreaking to see him go if that does happen. And look, I've been saying, I think he'll push for the move and maybe teams won't be able to afford him. But with this money being injected into the European Super League, maybe there are 11 other teams out there who can afford him. I think we'll have to wait and see in that one. What I would rather us do is go for a Mourinho type manager, in that one who will come in and try and bring instant success to the club, give him the backing he deserves in the market and all that, and maybe see some trophies in the next year or two. Whether that's realistic or not, I think it remains to be seen, and there'll be a lot said about that, I suppose, as well. In terms of managers that could fit that style, I know a lot of people will hate me for this, and I kind of hate myself for it as well, but Antonio Conte is not getting on very well with the board over there at Inter Milan. He falls into a few categories for me in that one with Premier League experience, one who knows what it takes to win. Of course, won the Premier League. He's won the Serie A this season as well, ending Juventus' decade-long spell as the champions of that country. So maybe he would be my number one option. But I think along with every fan, it's a lot of these opinions and emotions are kind of raw because no one was really expecting this right now. And I'm sure my opinion will change in the next couple of days.
Yeah, 100%. Sean, and who would you like to see come in next?
It's hard to know who I'd like to see come in next, but like I think all roads are leading to Nagelsmann at the minute. I mean, what do? You have to look at your options about what you have. I don't know. I just gotta go out on a wild one here. Could see like a previous manager that we've had in before just make a little return. I don't know. Just going out there. I love a little wild, fit a little bit of banter, see what's going on, but. I don't know, I have a feeling it could be a manager that we've had in before. Be a little surprise coming in somewhere, you never know.
Yeah. On Nagelsmann, though, do you, we'll give this one to Will. Will, on Nagelsmann, do you think he'll work? Because we've tried playing 5 at the back this season, and he predominantly plays that, and that's the basis of his system. Do you think Nagelsmann will come in and work, even though it hasn't worked when we've tried it already?
You know, like if this situation would have happened on any other day, I would have been able to give my opinion on Nagelsmann, you know, a little bit different. But I really think that, if the topic of this show actually goes through in place, you can throw the whole playbook out the window because there's going to be, 98, 92, 80, 88 other managers out there looking for a job. And so, we'll have a pick of the litter.
Yeah. Mike, do you think we would get the pick of the litter, though? With like, surely most managers looking from the outside in, bar the ones who kind of, probably need a club to redeem themselves, in a bit like Mourinho in a way. Do you think we do have the pick of the litter, or do you think maybe managers be looking at it and say, I'm going near that poison chalice?
That's exactly the phrase I had in mind, David, the poison chalice.
Great minds think alike, Matty.
They do. But I think a decision for the next Spurs manager, and even transfers coming in this summer, it's no longer down to can we convince them to come to Spurs? Can we convince them that Spurs are going to be successful? Can we convince them that Tottenham are going places? It's down to more than just footballing reasons right now for anybody who is thinking about potentially coming to the club. And that extends away from players and managers. It could go as far as sponsors and anyone who might take the naming rights for the stadium. And it's morals. It's ethics, because you won't find a single person in the world who doesn't have an opinion, or a single football fan who doesn't have an opinion about the European Super League. It's either we're all for it or we absolutely hate it. And I think with whatever Spurs try to do to replace Mourinho, or as I say, bring players in the summer, it's going to be more than that. It will be down to morals and ethics. And yes, we may have a lot more money if this does go ahead to convince people to join. But like I've been thinking in the last 3 days, as Marcelo Bielsa, maybe as a potential replacement for Mourinho in the short term, he's not going to join us now. He won't be going anywhere near the dirty dozen, as they're being dubbed. So I don't think we'll have the pick of the litter, but I think with certain managers, we will be better placed to perhaps convince them.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look, lads, let's all give a big welcome to Ben from We Are Tottenham TV. Big up, Ben. How are you keeping? And give us the lowdown on your thoughts today and what's going on.
Mate, I am, well, first of all, thank you for having me on today. I mean, I'm completely distraught. To be honest, I should probably pull over because I'm driving at the moment. Just give me 2 secs. I'm just over.
No worries. While Ben's pulling over.
I pulled over.
All right, great job.
Look, I just want to say that it's a complete... I'm just really finding it really hard to deal with this. I really am. And it feels as though my football club has spat on me. It feels as though they've shat all over me. And I'm really finding it hard to deal with it, to tell you the truth. I'm not even sure if I even want to go to this cup final on the weekend. I'm being completely honest with you. I really am feeling disillusioned with everything surrounding this Super League, surrounding football at the moment. And I just don't know what to say anymore. The absolute greed of these owners is, we thought they were greedy before, but now we thought they were greedy before, but you ain't seen nothing yet. And now you're seeing their real, true colours. And the owners of all these clubs, all these 12 clubs, they need to take a long, hard look at themselves and think about what they're actually doing to these communities in these football clubs. They need to think about what they're doing to these football clubs in general. and I'm finding it really hard to take. I really am.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, this whole European Super League. Look, it just goes to show how easy they dismiss the fans. For me, look, they've been speaking all along about fans this, fans that. We need fans back in the stadium to help cover our losses. But as soon as they get a bit of bank money to bankroll them, you know what I mean? Straight away, it's fuck the fans. It's fuck the fans. Then you'll probably be watching Tottenham Timbers next season.
Yeah.
No, it's a joke. But come here, how'd you get on down at the stadium?
Oh, it was poor turnout, man. Really poor. I mean, I don't get it, man, because you see fans down at Liverpool, fans down at Chelsea, protests being planned all over. But at Tottenham, there was literally just news reporters outside. Nothing going on there.
No way.
Really upsetting, to be honest.
Well, I can tell you next week I'll be there with my big Ian and Cow banner.
I'll tell you what, though. What I'm seriously considering is planning something really big for the Southampton game, when everyone's going to be there. You know, Daniel Levy will be there. The team will be there. Obviously, we play Southampton Wednesday night. And I'm even considering just not doing my watch along at all and just going down to the stadium to protest.
Yeah. Well, look, you know, not that my channel is going to make any difference to it, but if there's anyone, you know, you heard it here first, go down and join them. Get down there when Levy can hear you. You know, go down and join Go down and join Ben. You know, basically trying to let the owners know. And, like, you know, I'm sure after today he feels like he's trying to do it on his own. But, Ben, I can tell you there are plenty of people with you. It's just about getting them out of their houses. So it is.
There was one guy that showed up for my roll call, and you got to big him up because his name is Charlie THFC, and that guy is a legend, Charlie THFC.
I love that. He'll never miss a chance to see Nick.
No, big up Charlie, big up Charlie. But sorry, Ben.
Nah, Dave, I just wanted to pop in just to say hi, but I got to go now because I'm just driving and stuff.
No.
But yeah,
that's no problem. Thanks very much for popping in and letting us know what was going on at the stadium there today. And look, you know what I mean. I'll do everything I can, and I'm sure Matt and Sean and Will to promote Wednesday for you and get people out.
100%, man, 100%.
Yeah, and I've got some ENIC out cards. I've got some say no to the Super League cards all ready for the big party on Sunday. So don't you worry about that.
Brilliant. I look forward to it. I cannot wait for the weekend, you know.
Yeah, me too. And like we said on the weekend, let's pull together for this cup final, even though who knows what it means. We just need to have a good time together. We need some positivity in our lives.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%. When you were saying there, you were thinking about not going to the cup final because you're so pissed off. Look, Ben, what I'd say to you is go there and fully enjoy your day out. You deserve it. You follow this team all around Europe. You know what I mean? You follow this team everywhere. You deserve that day out. So you go over there and you get the most out of it you can.
Yeah, look, I probably will go, but at the moment, I just feel like not going.
Yeah. No, look, I can get that. But look, Ben, thank you so much for popping in, my man. I really do appreciate it, and thanks for giving us the update.
No problem at all. Speak soon, bros.
I'll see you soon, Ben. I'll see you soon. Big up, Ben, lads, for popping in. Absolute gentleman. What a legend, letting us know what was going on outside the stadium. But lads, look, we may as well. Actually, Will, who do you want in charge?
I don't even have an answer anymore. I have to wait, see what's going to happen. I mean, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm the same. I actually don't know what direction we're going to go in. I don't know what direction this club is going to take.
I could talk about the positives of, with this change, but then it feels like, not only does it feel like it, but then I get accused of being for it or supporting it when that's not how I feel. But I mean, if this goes through, good chance to get the deadwood out because there'll be plenty of money and plenty of people to replace them. But but then is Tottenham anymore? Right. So, I mean, it's like, what do you say about managers and transfers and stuff now?
Yeah, that's the thing. But look, Matty, we may as well get on to it. European Super League. What's your thoughts?
Bin it, get rid of it, quit it now. It is the most ridiculous, most disgusting, most greedy, and most elitist proposal I have ever seen put forward in football. The news, I first saw it on a Twitter page called Get French Football News yesterday about 2-3 o'clock, and I was in work, and I was actually sitting close to the guy who told me about that page. So I said it to him, I was like, "Oh, you said this is reliable. Look at the crap they're talking about." And within 3-4 hours, it was all over the place, and we were waiting an announcement, and I honestly couldn't believe it. My stomach sank, and I was hoping it was some sort of joke when the announcement didn't come at 9:30, and it didn't come at 10:30. But it came then close to 11 o'clock, and it was just all downhill from there with the news that we've heard. The only word we can use to describe this is elitist. It is essentially the richest of the rich trying to get richer and leaving the poor behind. And that may sound a bit extreme, that may sound a bit exaggerated, but it's what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
It is what it is. Like what's happened to Spurs playing Marine in the FA Cup and having this online ticket scheme, and we raise hundreds of thousands for a club that has been the heartstone and the tradition of a community for decades and decades and saving them from extinction. What's happened to Bury and the chance they were given, which of course didn't come through? Bolton managed to be saved. What's happened to us raising money for the Justin Edinburgh Foundation through our game with Leyton Orient? That's what football's about. It's tradition. It's community. Lives will be ripped apart by this, and that is the be all and end all of it. This will destroy people's lives and things like that. And a lot of people have relied on football during the pandemic, and it's where we look to be coming to the end of the pandemic. We look to have a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and they dropped this bombshell: €3.5 billion, €3.5 billion to be shared among the 12 teams immediately. Imagine, even like in football terms, imagine the teams that could save. Imagine the clubs it could finance for years to come. Also, imagine what else could be done with that money. JP Morgan, the bank in America, sponsoring this. Imagine what they could do with that sort of money. Imagine the difference they can make in a world. But instead, they're ripping apart the foundations of communities and the tradition of football that people have fallen in love with over the last 100 or so years. It is an absolute joke. It is disgusting, and it's the greedy nature of some people who they're the people who have the most money, but it's not enough for them. And nothing will ever make me agree with it. Nothing will ever allow me to excuse it. It is simply destroying football, and that is the end of it.
No, 100%. I fully agree with you, lad. I wish I had the words that you have to put it together like that, but you're 100% right, and I fully agree with you. Look, we have 153 people watching right now, so make sure you smash a like on the stream. If you're new, make sure you smash subscribe on the channel. The big push for 2K is on. And also, if you feel like it, get your super chat in, get your questions in for the panel. It really does help the channel grow. But Sean, what are you making of this European Super League, and do you want it?
Definitely don't want it, man. Definitely don't want it. Look, like, you see what it's like. We've been to 2 games. You have that sense of feeling you're with family the minute you're going down. You're on the tube, the whole way down there. They're taking away all of that. That is what they're doing. They're destroying the heart and soul of our football club and of every football club and every fan member that is going to be part of those elite teams that are joining this stupid Super League. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just taking everything out of it, man. It's an absolute disgrace. And look, I mean, to be fair, Matt summed it up perfectly there. Every word for word, it was just perfection. And I completely agree with him. You just can't let it happen. It's going to take everything out. Everything out of the Premier League, everything out of Champions League, everything out of the Europa League, and like that for what? So that they can line their own pockets with more fucking gold. Greedy, greedy, greedy bunch of people. Every single one of them, man. I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Yeah. No, 100%. And to be honest with you, I'm so pleased with the response of governments, prime ministers, head of states and all coming out and talking about it and wanting to do something about it and trying to save football from itself, to be honest with you. Alex says, get me on. Alex, I will actually get in contact with you this evening if it's not too late, if not tomorrow, and I will be getting you on for a stream. I know you have a lot to say. I can't get you on now because I have to come out of the stream to go on to Facebook and send you the link and everything else. So I can't get you on now, man. Mr. K says here, can't believe some fans are pleased that they got it right with Josie out. They're practically patting themselves on the back. and popping onto every stream to make justify it. What do you think on that, Will?
I think it's sick to even talk about Jose now is, I think, just a waste of airtime, because if what's going to happen is going to happen, it's all meaningless anyway. So
yeah,
why talk about it?
Look, why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us, the fans, why you think we won't be able to stop it?
Well, I mean, because there's too many international fans. So unless the casual fan, right, unless the people who watch, Champions League football across the world decide to boycott every sponsor and every club that's a part of it, they'll win. I mean, that because there's not enough European fans, there's not enough English fans. And like I said earlier today in your show, right? FA Cup is the most watched sport in English football, or most watched match in English football. 8 million domestic viewers, 600 million worldwide. Right? The number of UK fans, right? And that's what I'm really curious. I wish I could speak Italian or Spanish. I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but not well enough to read, reports and understand what's going on. I'd like to see what the fans in those countries are saying. Right? They may be all for this. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If we're a part of it or not a part of it, I'm not saying since, if you can't beat them, join them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, football has grown to be such a global giant that it takes, your local community is only making up, like you take Spurs, for instance. Wikipedia says the club has come out recently, this is written within the last 2 or 3 weeks. 3 million UK Spurs fans, 180 million worldwide fans.
I get that, right? But here's where I struggle. So, look, Tottenham was essentially started up for the people around the area, for the community around the area. Now, like, I get that we have a global fan base, but they support Tottenham, because of the area, everything else. You know what I mean? All the history. So why essentially rip that apart for the global fan base? If they love Tottenham, why not? Like, I know not everybody can travel, but like, why should Tottenham basically be taken away from what it was to what it is, just to appease people in other countries?
Well, I mean, because for me, like, take me for example. You could say that as a foreign fan, and I know that you guys are technically don't live in England yourselves or in Tottenham specifically, so that kind of adds you into my group, but not really, because you're close enough to, I guess you could say, be more involved. Go to the stadium 2 or 3 times a year, or do whatever you want to do. I'm in a different boat, right? It would cost me at least $5,000 to make a trip there for a week to go watch a match, right? Hotel, food, planes, all that stuff, right? So for us, going over there is like a once in a lifetime type of trip, unless you're just so rich it doesn't matter, right? But for me, other than the pictures that I see on YouTube or online, I don't know anything about the local area. I'm a super fan, right? I don't know what the people are. I don't know what the racial makeup of the neighborhood is. I don't know the struggles of that area. I don't know, I know about the history of the club because I've done research on it, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't know that, right? And I'm against this based on the principles of what, there's many reasons why I'm personally against this. But what I'm saying is, I am a minority of a minority, right? The majority of, you could say, casual, right, EPL fans in the United States probably think this is a great idea, right? All of us super fans, like, trust me, if you're an American fan and you're on all of these channels watching, this and that, and super chatting here and there and going there, we're a small minority, right? We're a small minority. I mean, if you look at just look at channels like my own, right? Look at other channels in North America. Right? The biggest channel, it's maybe 500 subscribers, right? He did a video today with 76 views. I mean, but yet the supporters group that I'm in is at least 400 or 500 people. You know, you have other YouTube channels that have 200-300 subscribers, and they have supporters groups on Facebook of like, you know, 3,000-4,000 people. So, and yet the TV ratings in America for the EPL are in the tens of millions, right? So that means that the majority of US fans aren't connected to the community like I'm connected to the community, or like Jack's connected to the community, or like Cody's connected to the community, or like the other.
Do you think maybe that the EPL has so many viewers in America because essentially what they're going to do with the European League is what they already do with the MLS, and that's probably why a lot of like, because I know, like, obviously we know a lot of American fans and Canadian fans and that, but like a lot of them say they don't actually like the system the MLS has. So is that why maybe you think they tune into EPL, and like that just shows that franchise football just isn't the way to go?
Fans who know, right? Who really watch, who are like myself, who study and learn and the tactics. Like, I appreciate promotion relegation. I appreciate that system. But just like the owners, I would be willing to say that a good probably 60 to 70% of American fans who just enjoy watching football, they enjoy. Take for instance, you go to my kids' club and you're talking with parents on the sidelines, right? This is the world that I live in. These kids are playing. They're paying $8,000 a year to have their kid play soccer, and you know what they're talking about on the sideline? NFL or college American football. Who's going to be winning what or the other, right? They couldn't name a single player on most of the teams, you know, that I can do that on, right? And then the parents that do are just as big as fans of MLS as they are of the EPL. Then there's another small minority of super fans like myself, where they're actually playing FPL and in groups and actually talk about the games. Like, I can count maybe 2 or 3 dads out of 18 dads, right? So all of those, you know, it's to be a super fan from America is not a common thing, right? And so when you get fans, and a lot of fans here are fans of players, right? They follow, you know, they follow Messi, or they'll follow Ronaldo.
That's maybe why the Super League, that's why maybe franchise football and stuff might work over that side of the world. But it's not necessary. It's not, I'm telling you now, it's not going to work over this side of the world.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
because we like people, like I get what you're saying. Like, a lot of fans are fans of the player. I get that, but a lot of people over this side of the world are actual fans of the club. They couldn't give a shit about the players unless they're playing for them.
Right, I'm that way. But what I'm saying is that the 40 million viewers that the EPL gets over here, that's more than the entire people UK watch the FA Cup final. Right, that's what I'm saying. You're talking sheer size. Then you're talking billions of people in China, right? Billions. And yeah, there are super fans in China who are against this, right? Against it. But they're not the majority over there either. And there are people in Korea. There's 50 million Koreans over there. Now, granted, not all 50 million Koreans are fans of football. So let's say half of them are, right? You got 25 million Koreans over there, right? I cannot tell you that I've ever met an Aston Villa fan or a Bournemouth fan or a Leeds United fan in Korea. It's all the big 6 clubs that are in this competition, this new competition.
Yeah, but then, so we have all that global fan base, right? And that fan base may want to see Tottenham in the Super League. But if they're not Tottenham fans and we are getting rid of some, what do we do then now? We're stuck in the European Super League, and half of them don't even support Tottenham. And they're the fans we were doing it to appease in the first place.
Yeah, and then they trade players, and then the fans move. They just move around the system. That's what they do here in America with football, right? You got Tom Brady's playing for the Patriots, right? And people are Patriots fans. Then Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now they're Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. And then
so I guess,
new player.
I guess what I'm saying then is, Will, that is, if we're doing this to appease all the fans around the world, right? But then the majority of them are only Sun fans or this fan or that fan, and they leave. But then who are we doing it for after that?
Because they're watching the league, and the way that the franchise system is worked up is that the TV revenue is distributed evenly among members, right? So even if they're not a fan of, like, for instance, you got Cincinnati Bengals. They've been trash in the NFL for, you know, going on probably 3 or 4 decades, right? You have they still get money. Their owners still make money year in, year out, because it doesn't matter if they don't have as many fans as the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots or the Pittsburgh Steelers or Green Bay Packers. I mean, the Green Bay Packers have been junk for a long time, and they're getting better now. But it's been a long time since they've been popular, but they still make a ton of money because it's not this system, and this is I guess you could say the evil genius of it, is it's not reliant on your local fan base. And that's why it makes it really hard to fight. Because it's not relying upon your support. It's relying on the total success of the league as a whole. Right, so Manchester United fans in China can support the lack of participation from Tottenham fans in the UK or Tottenham fans in China, right? Because it's based on the entire viewership of the entire league, right? And that's the problem. That's why this is the evil genius, is because the fans who aren't emotionally connected to the club, like we are, the four of us, they can help pay. They will help continue to give those matches ratings, which will in turn give it sponsorship money from ad companies for the TV stations, who can then continue to pump, billions of euros a season into it. And that's the hard part about it, because these big clubs, and that's why they have all the power, and that's why this has really made me very cynical and downtrodden. And
yeah. Well, what do you think on that, Matty? We'll bring you in on that, on what we were saying there.
I can't object to or disagree with anything Will said there, and that terrifies me. It really does. And I was watching World of JCC did a video on this a while ago, and he was talking about the European Super League, and he said he saw a good point on the kickoff about this, and it was that, just take it for Chelsea for example, YouTuber Rory Jennings, just because this is the example that was used there. Chelsea Football Club don't care about the fans, the Rory Jennings fans. They don't care about if you're looking at Ben and Sim for Tottenham, you can look at whatever United channels are out there for them and all that. They don't care about those fans, because they're not the fans that are going to go to a game, buy a scarf, buy a match program, go into the shop, buy a jersey, buy this, buy that, buy the other thing, because they don't need to, because they already feel part of the community. They are part of the football club. What they care about is that fan who, like Will said, makes his once-in-a-lifetime trip from America to come over and go to Stamford Bridge, to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and all that, and they'll spend their hundreds in the club shop. David, as I can assure you, I'm going to do this weekend. They will spend their hundreds in that club shop. It's what that club needs to happen. But again, following on from what Will said, if it costs Will $5,000 to fly from America over to England, go to a Spurs game, and then buy all your merch on top of that, that's not something that clubs can look at to sustain a long-term future. So what they're doing right now is, instead of bringing Will to the game, they're bringing the game to Will. Because right now in this initial proposal, it is 10, 12, whatever, home and away games. But you can bet your bottom dollar, once people start kind of accepting and kind of leaning into the idea of the European Super League, if it does happen, as we will have to eventually, that's when they'll drop the next bombshell. And that's when United are going to be playing one game a season in Beijing. That's when Spurs are going to be playing one game a season in New York. And then think of the money they're going to make off that. And again, in that JCC video, it was an incredible 11-minute kind of rant, I suppose, about this. You said, David, we're going to be watching Tottenham Timbers next season. I don't think it's the Hotspur we have to change in that name. It's the Tottenham. Because if this club ends up being 10 years down the line, playing a home game in Beijing, playing a home game in Perth, playing a home game in New York, in Sao Paulo, wherever you want to bring them around the world, at what point does that club stop being Tottenham Hotspur?
Yeah, because we'll Tottenham is global Hotspur.
We will, because Tottenham is the area that this is club from. It's the community this club is built on. You look at Arthur Everett, our beloved channel member, who comes on, and he's told us stories about when he was a kid going to the games, and he'd be running in and around the pubs, and the players would be sitting down there drinking their pints, so you can go up and have a chat with them. That's what football is built on. It's built on community. It's built on that kind of family that you get when you go to these games. It's built on tradition. It's built on so much like that. But that is not, if these clubs do want to become as big as they possibly can be, that's not what they need. It's not, and it's so painful to admit this. And you can bet your bottom dollar again that I hope this does not go ahead. I hope the Premier League, the Champions League, whatever it is, stays exactly as it is. But these clubs, like we say, they're the elitist, greediest people you will ever come across. And it is as simple as that. And you know they have no human values, because you can look at what Alexander Seferin, the president of UEFA, has said in the last 12 or so hours. He's speaking about Andrea Agnelli, who was the chairman of Juventus and a former co-chairman of the ECA, who is now a co-chairman of the European Super League. And he said Agnelli called him. This is a close family friend. Seferin is the godfather to Agnelli's daughter. And Agnelli called Seferin on Saturday to assure him everything happening with the rumours of the European Super League. He assured him they were all lies. And less than 24 hours later, he was making this €3.5 billion announcement with 12 clubs completely in sync and all this. And that was there. He said he was talking, Seferin was talking to Woodward on Thursday. Not a thing was mentioned. Woodward said he was supporting the new format for the Champions League and he wanted to talk about financial fair play. They don't care about anyone else. They can see the money that is in this for them, and they don't care about me, David. They don't care about you. They don't care about Sean. They don't care about Will and how we feel about this. They care about the money that they will benefit, the money they will gain from this, and they will become huge financial corporations, more than they are already. It is absolutely disgusting. They're forgetting the people who have built these clubs. You look at Sir Bobby Charlton. I think it was Sir Bobby Charlton who survived the plane crash for Manchester United and built that club back up from nothing for himself. Or by himself, built the club to what it is today, and is being ripped away from him. It is being ripped away from the community that helped build that, the community that supported and financed that club for so long, and it is disgusting, and it is the end of football. It really is. I can't see another way to look at it.
It is. And big up James Watson here. He says, great show, lads. Big up James Watson for the super chat. Anyone else, feel free to get them in if you want to, and we'll stop what we're doing and discuss whatever it is you say. Look, for me, I actually grew up on the terraces, in the 90s, and to see this come about, I think, is going to be a disaster, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, the football was built off the back of the working man. It was built off the back of the working man, and for the rich to come in, who's already owned all these companies that everyone's worked in to buy tickets for their game, to buy their shirts, to buy everything else, for them now to make the money off the working man. And then to come and take the sport off them as well. It's an absolute disgrace. It should never be allowed to happen. But Matty, quickly, so we're talking about maybe games going across to New York and Beijing and things like that. But what are they going to do with the big ass stadiums that they already have over here that they won't be able to fill every week, because the likes of the fans who can't attend it every week just probably won't go? So what do we do then?
You're muted, Matt.
Oh, you're muted, Matt.
Oh, sorry. I said they'll bring Lady Gaga and they'll bring Guns N' Roses and they'll bring the NFL games. They're going to find a way to make money out of that stadium. Maybe the stadium is what they needed to reach that level of elite club, which I do not agree with that we belong in. Maybe this is what they needed to get into this scenario. We're getting so much money from this to put towards infrastructure. The majority of Tottenham's debt could be paid off, but they will find other ways to finance that stadium. Yeah, we might have games there every now and then. And something I forgot to mention a minute ago, one thing that is really, really annoying me about this proposal they put forward. They made this proposal knowing they would be banned from all domestic, European and world competitions if they went into this. But in their proposal, they said, yeah, we'll still play domestic competition. Don't you worry about it. We'll play European Super League midweek and we'll still play our domestic competition. Because they know UEFA or the domestic federations will ban them from domestic competition. And all of a sudden, UEFA are the bad guy or the FA is the bad guy. They've done that knowing full well. And what they're doing is they're trying to, in the midst of this incredible big proposal that is ruining football for fans, they're trying to pick out these various little things that fans want. All of a sudden, Super League referees are going to be mic'd up, and you're going to be able to hear them, and VAR, you're going to understand and all that and everything. They're doing all this to make everyone else look at the bad guy, and they're putting in the tiny little things to make it look like it's for the fans. Oh, we're going to do this for the fans, but yeah, you won't be able to go to the games because it'll be 5,000 miles away. It is disgusting from top to bottom. It really is.
Yeah, no, it is 100%. But Mitch, what do you think on everything that's been said there?
Yeah, look, man, I think it's been a well thought out plan. It's been structurally sound. They knew what they were doing. I don't think this is something that has just happened over the past couple of days. This has been thought about, and there's been meetings going on behind closed doors to get something like this organized, thought through, to go through the game plannings, the process, the funds, to organize everything. There's a lot that goes into this. This has definitely been going on in the background for quite a while, and it's shocking at the time that they've brought it out. And like what Matt's saying there as well, with with the likes of bringing it in and saying, yeah, okay, we're going to compete in this, and making UEFA out to be the bad guys. Again, that's another methodical, thought out plan and structure again as to the way that they're going around trying to make it out that, you know, we're just doing this and we're still going to be able to do everything else. We don't think it's a big deal. But the more that you dig into it and you find as what's wrong and what's going on and what's really happening, the more you figure out how much deep shit this is, because this is just ridiculous.
No, it is. And Mitch, it's just pure greed, isn't it?
Yeah, man, 100%.
Like, you know, they already make millions every year. They already make millions off TV revenue. They already make millions from match day revenue, from ticket sales, from merchandise sales, from advertising, right? They already make millions. Like, when does it become a point where enough is enough?
It never will. It never will. The only way that anything could ever change is if you get a local person in there that cares about the community, that's going to drive the cause back to it being like, let's just look, take for instance, right? You have Starting Football Club. It starts out locally. Local people playing the game and become the players, and all of their friends become supporters. That's the way it starts. And then it starts into like a local business where they start selling merch and they start selling and they're advertising photos of the players. And then it grows and grows and grows and grows to where Tottenham is today. Without that and that starting point of having everybody local supporting the local club, the local players, everything, this club would be nowhere. They need to realize that. They need to actually show some respect for the people that care about the club from where it started. And they need to go back to that and realize where they've come from, because without those people, they would not be where they are today.
Yeah, 100%. Will, so look, do you know, just for argument's sake, so right, they have these plans now, but say if it doesn't go ahead, where does that leave the chairmans of all these clubs?
I mean, they've already removed themselves from UEFA.
No, but like, because look, to be honest with you, I do think there's going to be so much imposed that they might try and make it impossible for them. But say if they did and it didn't go ahead, what do we do with the likes of Levy and Enoch and all these other owners that are left them with their clubs?
I don't know what to say, because the only thing we can do is hurt them in their wallets by going after their sponsors.
Do we fine them? Do we give the club a points deduction? Do you take it out on the club, which in turn, you know,
well, I mean, the league will probably.
Fans? Do you take it out on the owners? What do you do?
I mean, the league will probably, do something if the league wins. But
yeah.
You can tell right now that the league's reaction, UEFA's reaction, is the same reaction that a drowning man has. Because where the TV stations go, the money goes. And if the TV stations follow this, UEFA's dead too. International football is dead, right? We're not talking about the death of just the Premier League or Serie A or La Liga. We're talking about if UEFA and FIFA go through with their ban, the World Cup becomes the Olympics. How people watch football in the Olympics now, meaning they don't.
Yeah, well, look, obviously, look, 100%, I agree with you. It's gonna, if they do ban them from international, like, it's gonna affect the quality of the Euros, affect the quality of the World Cup and everything else. And like, to be honest with you, it wouldn't really be a World Cup, would it? Because the idea of the World Cup is watching the very best of the best against each other. So I agree with that. But Matty, what would you do? Say if it all did collapse, this European Super League, what do we do with these greedy people? Because I'm not being funny. You can't let them stay in football after they show their colours.
Yeah, before I answer that, Lappers is in the chat telling me to hold up my Plymouth jersey with pride. So I'm going to prove to him I do have that, a retro blackout Plymouth kit. It's beautiful. I don't think he believed me.
Nice.
But I think this is where it comes down to who is our qualms with all this, and it's not with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I with everything that's happening right now, I don't hate Tottenham. I don't hate the club. I don't hate. I don't have anything against the club or what Tottenham Hotspur represents. It's ENIC. It's Daniel Levy. It's the people who, I'm not going to say represent this club, but who own this club and want to use it as a business rather than anything else. And this stadium behind me, if this goes ahead, this is quickly going to grow to represent everything we dislike about this era of our club and this period. That beautiful, beautiful piece of architectural brilliance that I can't tell you how much I'm waiting. I can't wait to get into that stadium. It's going to become a sight for sore eyes. It's going to be something that I absolutely despise, because if that is ultimately something we did to get into this European Super League, I hate it. And I don't want to ever set foot in it. I want to be back in White Hart Lane. There's nothing we can do with these people, because as people are saying there, we can only hurt them in their wallet. But as Will said, they make more money elsewhere. They really will. And
that's why people in the comments, you gotta be embracing, you gotta be pulling, you gotta be reaching out to every foreign fan call them up on the phone, send them an email, hit them up on Facebook, and embrace them, win them over to your side. Don't smash them with American pieces of trash or whatever. You're just gonna push them into the arms of the ESL. Win them on over to your side. Because without the help of the other 592 million fans that watch the FA Cup helping you, the 8 million in the UK don't have a chance.
Yeah, and I can't add anything to that, really. It's spot on.
All right, so just want to jump in here for a second, if it's all right. I've just heard reports that are after coming out that Tottenham are after making contact with Sarri. How would you guys feel about that?
No.
Hey, David.
I don't want him here. He's a buffoon. He couldn't even get a keeper to come off the pitch, and people talk about man management. He couldn't even get his goalkeeper to come off the pitch. I don't want him here.
I guess you could say we're sorry to hear that.
No. The day just gets worse. I'm getting a headache now. I have to go and get fucking Panadol. This is a joke. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of football right now. I actually am. I'm fed up of it. It's everything that I grew up loving about football is gone. It's finished. It's over. Everything I grew up loving. You didn't have to be elite or rich to be able to enjoy football. You didn't have to have, you didn't have to have so much money just to go out and play football. You could just slap on a pair of boots and out you go, a pair of runners. You know what I mean? It's the most basic game in the world. And now all it's done is being taken from the working class people and the people I actually feel sorry for, the people it's most going to affect, is the poorest people over in the poorest countries who support these teams. Because it's just going to get further and further and further away from them being able to ever even participate in football or be able to watch football, because it's going to become more and more expensive. More and more expensive. And it's not on. Just quickly, Tom Harris, absolutely love the last name, lad. Don't know if you're a relation to the great Dave Harris here, but look, I love the last name. But Will, what do you think of Sarri?
I don't like him. I never liked him before. I think he's a buffoon. I wasn't particularly impressed with him at Chelsea. Wasn't impressed with him at Juventus. So why would we sack somebody who actually did something in their past to pick somebody up who was a buffoon in their past? Right? Like, you might as well, if you're going to go with a nobody, go with a young nobody who has something to prove and something to where there's a future. Why go after somebody who's just as old as Jose and is on his way down, who's even worse? I know. I'm not saying Sarri doesn't have titles in his name, but he's not Jose Mourinho.
Maurizio Sarri was a manager for 28 years before he won a trophy. He managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 clubs. It took him 19. He's never played football.
He started off as a bank manager.
Yeah, it took him 19 attempts, 19 clubs he had to be at before he could win a trophy. And do you know what? This makes sense, because it stinks of Daniel Levy, it stinks of ENIC. Look at all the managers we're being linked to. Julian Nagelsmann, we'll have to pay Leipzig. Brendan Rodgers, we'll have to pay Leicester. Antonio Conte, we pay Inter Milan. Martinez, we pay Belgium. Parker, we play Fulham. Potter, we play Brighton. Who do we pay for Sarri? No one, because he's free. He's out of the club. That stinks of a deal that is cheap for ENIC rather than one that is actually progressive and positive for the future of this football club. Disgusting.
It's Juve can actually cancel his contract by the end of April for 2.5 million. And with the season that he's had for them, and with us looking for somebody, it could be something that could happen. And he still has to see out the rest of the season, but he could be in for next season. I definitely do not want to see that happen. Yeah, all the talks of Sarri ball, man, it's just going to be depressing. But like you're saying, in a business sense, we see the way the club's been run. It's been run like a business. It is just all business, and it could happen. Could happen. I don't want it to happen, but it could.
Imagine Harry Winks in the Jorginho role.
Oh, no, Matty, no. Can't. Look, the guy shouldn't even be here for when Sarri comes in anyway. He really shouldn't. You know, to be honest with you, I probably would just hand him P45 along with Mourinho and said, you're sacked as well. You're shit, you're useless. I would have brought Moon Boots, Sanchez, the whole lot of them in. You're sacked. Just go away. We'll go with the under-18s to the rest of the season. That's what I would have done, to be honest, if I was Levy. Because if he thinks that the manager is going to solve all these problems, he's sadly mistaken. He brought in Jose to cover up the fact, hoping that to cover up that we didn't need so much money invested in the back line. That's what he brought in Jose Mourinho to do. He put 2 and 2 together. Best defensive coach, you know. I don't really want to be spending too much money on defenders or anything like that. So let's bring in Jose. And now all of a sudden, because the European Super League announcement, next thing they sack Jose. And, you know, the whole club is rotten from the core all the way up to the top. It's just become a joke. But Matthew Collins says, Sarri ain't coming. It's going to be Julian Nagelsmann at the end of the season. It's official. Well, Matthew, I want to know who your source is, man. You need to let me know your source if it's official. But big up, Matthew. Look, we have over 211 people watching, lads. Make sure you have smashed a like on the stream, subscribe on the channel. Also, like I said, if you want, grab a channel membership for the Fanning Show Friday. I might even do another one this week at some stage. Or you know, get in your super chats like Matthew here. But I hope you enjoyed the discussion on the comment, Matthew Collins on Sarri. Will, what do you think on Sarri? Did I ask you already?
Yeah.
I think I'll start with you. Yeah. So, no, look, Sarri, and imagine Sarri Winks. Oh, no. Can't be happening. But
Sarri's a sorry-ass excuse for a manager is what he is.
You'd want to up your Panadol up to fucking morphine for that shit, man. That's gonna be painful.
Look, you know, everything that's come out about this club today, I'm absolutely hating. Let me be honest. And look, I don't usually talk too much trash about Tottenham, but I'm embarrassed. I'm upset, and you know, look, everything that's come out about this club, from the Jose Mourinho team to signing up to this European Super League, to hearing that Sarri is probably front runner. Oh my God, what a bad day. Mondays are already shit, let alone this bit of news. You know what I mean? But look, Matty, if Tottenham does go into the European Super League, what are you going to do? Are you going to still follow Tottenham Hotspur, or?
I'd be lying if I sat here and said I'd be able to stop following them. I know a lot of people have said this, and I fully understand and respect people's opinions when they say, I won't watch them anymore. Like, one of my good friends is a Chelsea fan. He's saying he won't watch it anymore. He'll support Derby, or he'll support Brentford, whoever it is. He won't watch Chelsea anymore. I don't think I'll be able to do that, because I can't imagine sitting down watching something on Netflix or being out with the lads or something and knowing Tottenham are playing and not watching it, or not having a vested interest in it, because a football club is more than just, I think the way I said it a while ago, it's more than a pair of shoes that you like, so you wear for a couple of months. With the kind of fans you'd find on the European side, it may be different, as Will said, to certain fans in America and around the globe. But for us, it's Tottenham that we love. It's not the manager who's sitting in the dugout. It's not the man who's banging in the goals. It's not the captain in centre half geeing the team up or anything. They go on. Players move on. Managers move on. Owners hopefully move on. But the club at the end of the day is what you fall in love with, and you're in it for life. In my opinion, I'm in this for life. It hurts right now, and I think the best word to describe it is I'm somewhat ashamed to support what this club has become to represent in the last 24 or so hours. But there's no chance I'll stop supporting Spurs. As much as I might want to, I won't be able to do it.
And I agree. I think I'm in the same boat. I think that I could try. I could try not to watch it. But as soon as I get a notification on my phone saying that this is the score and that's the result, or I go into OneFootball and they're putting in news about it, and I'm looking at that post which has ads on it, I'm still supporting it. Right? Financially, money is still being made there, right? So whether I stop buying all this crap from the store, the team store or not, right? There's somebody else who's new to the game, and that's the problem too, man. There are 150 adults in the United States, and it's one of the fastest growing sports here right now. So if I jump off ship today, there'll be 30 more who jump on it tomorrow. And how do I combat that? And that's why this is really demoralizing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, look, for me, to be honest with you, I think I'll probably just, and this, anyone that knows me, this is a lot coming from me, but if it does happen, the way I'm feeling now, I'd probably turn my back on football, I probably would, because it's not what I love. It's not what I grew up loving. It just isn't. And for me, I think I'd probably turn my back on it, football altogether, because I couldn't go and support another team. I couldn't. So my only option is to just not love football anymore. And I think that's the route I'm going to have to go, to be honest with you. Look, obviously come the time, I might be different. I might not be able to let go of my love and my passion for Tottenham. I love Tottenham more than my family and my missus. You know what I mean? And for me, I'll probably take this harder than ever breaking up with any girl. You know what I mean? And it just can't happen. This Super League cannot happen. It cannot happen because I will be one lost individual without what I grew up loving. But Robert O'Connor here says, love the content. Well done, Dave, Mitch, and the boys. Big up, Rob. Absolute legend. This guy, used to live with him, used to work with him. It's nice to see you, man. How are you keeping? But I had a comment here I wanted to get up. I just I can't find it. No, but this wasn't the one I was supposed to bring up, but I brought it up anyway. He says, if he gets sorry, we'll have to build a smoking room for him. Levy needs to build me and Celery one. Yeah, no, 100%, lad. So why not, What was I going to say? What was the comment? Oh, yeah, Joachim Löw from Germany, lads. Because what I've heard is that we already have a manager coming in place, but it won't be till the summer. And do you think, Joachim Löw is finished with Germany after the summer, regardless of what he does with them? It's over.
Yeah.
Do you think that he could be next Tottenham manager?
It's possible, but I don't think it's the right idea. I think you can ask any German fan. They'd be surprised that he's still there and surprised that he's been given the chance to bring him through the Euros. I think with the squad he had at his disposal, who was saying this to me? I was kind of talking about how he might be a good option, and someone, I forget who it was. If you're watching, whoever it is, I apologize for forgetting who exactly said it to me. But if you're looking at that squad he won the World Cup with in was it 2018, whatever it was, 5 of those players played for Dortmund, and 6 of those players in that typical starting 11 played for Bayern Munich. So what he was given essentially was a group of 11 world-class players who already knew each other so well by playing with each other at club level, and there wasn't much he had to do. And if you look at then how he failed with that squad in the last Euros, or in the last World Cup when he was knocked out by so they won the World Cup. My head's all over the place. They won the World Cup, and the one after that they got knocked out in the group stage in a group with South Korea, Mexico, and Sweden. The squad that he had at that time was still really strong. Yes, it had age, and yes, it had perhaps lost a few of its stars, but he massively underachieved with that nation. The World Cup win, every success, the credit does go to the manager to some extent, but he was given a fairly easy group of people to do it with. I wouldn't take him at Spurs.
Yeah, no, that's a fair assessment. He says, where in Ireland are you? For me and Sean, we're from the lovely County Kildare. Lovely fields here. Whatever you need, it's here. We're from the great County Kildare. Matty, what do you want to let them know where you're from?
Forbes might call us Stab City or the murder capital of Europe, but Forbes are scumbags. I'm from Limerick.
100%. And look, just so Will doesn't it doesn't feel left out, you may tell him where you're from as well, lad.
I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, which is another murder capital of the United States.
Oh, so,
we're not an actual murder capital.
Yeah, we're not really either.
Okay.
You may as well
There's
be.
a lot of murders.
And then
David.
Lappers82 says, I take it the missus in the room. Lappers, look, what I'll say to you is before I got with her, she knew, right, Tottenham was the first love, and that no matter whatever she wants to do or what she has planned for the day, if it's on a day of a Spurs game or it interferes with me doing anything with Tottenham, it ain't happening. So she was well taught, because I'll be honest with you, it was one of the conditions I got with her, to be honest, was that she accepts Tottenham. So there you are, Lappers. But Sean,
Lappers,
what would you make on?
First of all, Lappers, I will actually verify that. That is 100% confirmation. There was nearly contracts drawn for this at the start. That is pinpoint. This was all discussed.
100%. I'm not even messing when I say that. I'm deadly serious. You know what I mean? But Sean, what do you think of Hakeem Löw coming to Tottenham?
Oh, there'd be no love for me with him anyway, lad. That's for sure. Oh, I'm telling you. That one's for you, Matty. That one's for you, mate.
Appreciate it.
Look, I think Matty just said it there and then. If you could be put as the best manager in the world, and there's a lot of discussions that go out about Pep, and you look at the players that Pep has had, the money that he's been backed with, and then he's considered to be this amazing manager. But sure, if you give somebody €500 million to go out and spend on players, they're going to seem like they're the best fucking manager in the world because everybody's going to be happy. They're going to be getting paid serious wages. They're going to be playing with the world's best players, and they're going to win stuff. It's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? If you've got all the best players in the world on your team, it's only natural that you're going to win something. So I personally don't actually rate him as a really good manager. And I think if he came into Spurs, he's just not going to bring anything to us. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to be another name to blame, another one to point the finger at. He's not going to do anything at all for us, really.
Yeah. And Will, what do you think on Hakeem Löw?
I'm not loving it.
But
no, yeah.
Yeah. No, look, just an interesting one. Just said I'd throw it out there. But James Watson says, you're a role model, David. I don't want to be, but, when it comes to letting the missus know and stuff like that, 100% I'm a role model in that aspect. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to lay down the law. Don't get me wrong. Comes at a wee bit of a price. Sometimes you might have to spend a bit extra on something, you know what I mean, when you don't want to. But it's worth it. Trust me, James. And I encourage everybody to be more like me when it comes to their football club with their missus. That's what I encourage. So big up, James. Absolutely love that. But look, Matty and Will, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna put the link in the chat for fans and that to come on. And I know, Matty, you've been working today. You've been on so many. Or you haven't been working, but you may as well have been because you've been doing stream after stream after stream. I know that you want to go and play pro clubs, lad. So look, let everybody know where they can find you. We have 221 people watching. If they don't know who the great Matt Hayes is, let them know where they can find you.
David, can I say you know me so well because my phone is blowing up there. People want me to go play pro. I have a lot of friends,
I'm just guessing, that was actually a good guess. Because I remember last time something you wanted to play a pro club, so it was a good guess. That. See, do you know what that tells you? I listen, lad.
You do. I appreciate it. Look, first of all, anyways, here, do make sure to smash a huge obliterative subscribe on this channel. Give David the support he deserves. If you have enjoyed what I've had to say, and there might be one or two people there who did, you can find me on YouTube at just Matt Hayes Tottenham blog or on Twitter at Matt Hayes CHFC. But show your love for David. He deserves it a whole lot more than any of us. So, David, thanks a million as always for having me on, and I'm sure we're going to talk very soon.
No, look, I'm privileged that you gave up the time to come on, lad. I know you've been so busy. I know how busy you've been today. So, look, thank you so much for giving up your time. And everybody, you know where to go for the best watch-alongs. Get over to Matty Hayes' channel. Make sure you smash the subscribe on the button. Unfortunately, we won't be there to host it this weekend. But just, you never know where you might see us. That's all I'm going to say. But look, Matty, thank you so much, my man. I do appreciate it.
Cheers, David. Good to talk to you, Will and Sean, as well. Talk to you soon.
Cheers, Matt. Mind yourself, man.
See you, Matty. See you. And Will, look, before you go, actually, can you, I think because you're the only moderator I have live, can you post the link for the show in the live chat there? And look, actually, Will, sorry, that was, if you do want to stay on, you can stay on while I bring on the guest. I just don't know.
Man, I'll jump off.
Whether you have to do anything with the kids or.
Yeah, no, I'll jump off too, because I mean, this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth stream of the day, and I have another one at 10 p.m. on Will Stewart THFC Rants. It'll be going 10 p.m. Eastern time or 3 a.m. UK time. We'll be having a big fan rant show. It'll probably be full tonight. 10 people on all at one time, fighting and arguing and cussing and bitching and moaning and doing all this stuff. So yeah, I could use a nap, to be honest with you. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. We're on 12 hours right now that I've been sitting here at this desk, either streaming or making thumbnails or doing something. I think I've gotten up to I think I've gotten up to go to the bathroom a couple times, and that's it. And yeah, it's been a crazy day, but I mean, crazy times call for crazy measures. So I'll be out there tonight on the Will Stewart THFC Rants channel. If you haven't heard of me or subscribed to that yet, please do that. Even if you're not here in the US and you're not up that late, you can always watch it the next day, and it's good fun. Or just throw it in the background while you're driving to work or do whatever. I mean, even if you don't watch it, just hit play and fall asleep. I don't care. I mean, all the support helps.
I think it's a great channel. You do get some great characters on it. And if there's any you night owls out there, or anybody who has to get up with the kids during the night, anything like that, or if you're just up during the night, pop onto Will's channel. Have your say. You know what I mean? Will does absolutely great things over there. And I just want to see him keep going and going and going. He's 26 subs off 400 subscribers. So I want to see the power of the Harris Army. And I would like you to get over there. Surely we can get 26 out of 182 watching. Surely we can get 26 of you guys to get over there and smash the subscribe one. But Will, before you go,
I actually only need it's a 379 now. So
come on. So we only need 21. Sorry, I failed maths in school. So we only need 21. So there you have it, 21 subs. Surely we can do it. But Will, Matty says fourth stream, Will. Amateur hour here.
They're the ones I've literally got.
He's been on 7.
David, what time was your first stream?
Oh Jesus, lad. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. So I've been streaming nonstop since then.
Yeah. No, fair. Yeah, that's fair enough. But look, it's not as impressive as Matty. But honestly, actually, Matty, look, if you want to.
For an hour here.
Sorry, Matty, if you want to drop the link to your channel in the chat, do, so people can go over and subscribe. Will you do the same? And also, did you put the link for people to come on here?
Yeah, I'm throwing it in there right now.
Good man.
Just one thing before you do go, Will, make sure everybody get over to Will's page. I don't think you can see that. Head over there. Hit that subscribe button. Get on there, hit that subscribe button, get the numbers up. Big push. We'll get you to 400 by the end of tonight.
Yeah, I'll throw a link.
100%. And look, Rob, you will get over to Will Stewart THFC Rants. Give him a subscribe, my man. He says, can't wait for this Super League to fall through, and everyone can scream about Man United poaching Harry Kane. No, look, Harry Kane's not going to United, and I hope the Super League doesn't happen, Robbie. What do you think on that, Mitch?
Yeah, I think the man's delusional about Harry Kane heading over to United, but I really, really hope the Super League falls through, man. Rob, good to see you. Definitely drop me a text, man. Or actually, I don't know if you still have your same number or not, but if you do, I'll drop you a text later on, see how you're keeping.
100%. And lads, Will has been kind enough to throw the link in the chat. It is there. If you guys would like to come on and have your say on Jose Mourinho or on the European Super League, if there's no one in the background within 5 to 10 minutes, I'll probably end off. So it's up to you guys whether you want to come on and have your say. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. So why not come on? And then we do have a chat, not a chat, but a comment here I wanted to get to. Just give me a minute.
All right, folks, I'm going to jump out. We'll see you next time. Stay strong, stay Spurs. We'll see you later tonight.
See you later, Will. Take care, man.
See you later, Will.
Yep, bye-bye.
Thank you so much for coming on. And like I said, everybody, get over and subscribe to Will Stewart THFC Rants. He's an absolute gent. He helps me out so much on this channel, and the same as Matt Hayes as well, guys. make sure you throw the Matty a sub as well. He's deserving of it. Finn Cooper says, David, I remember when we were at 150 subs. We are skyrocketing, mate, and you deserve all of it. Keep it up. Oh, thank you so much, Finn. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. And guys, actually, I meant to say, if any of you don't know who this great man is here beside me, he's the great man that done the Spurs story with me, the Sean Mitchell Spurs story. And I have to say, it was absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant. I had a great fun doing it. But Sean, look, what do you want to talk about for a few minutes? Let's kill a bit of time to see if people come on or not.
Oh, man. Like, I don't even know where to start. There's so much. Like, I don't think I've seen so much stuff come out about the club in the past 24 hours. Even in the past about 12, 13 hours, everything's just been flying out about the club. It's hard to know even where to start. Like, I'd like to know your honest opinion about what way you think the Super League will go.
Look, I actually don't think. Look, I don't know. I'm in two minds because, look, these money people, Mitch, they do whatever they want. They couldn't give a shit about anything else. They do what they want. But at the same time, I just hope that, like, the governments get involved. All the, each country's FA gets involved, puts all the sanctions on them. To be honest with you, kick them out of the league, kick them out of the trophies. So then that's all they have is the European Super League. Because what I might do is might make them rethink. Because if you're talking going into the European Super League, right, and say if it's what they're proposing, and it's 2 tiers of 10 teams, and, I think the top 4 go through to a playoff sort of thing, like the MLS with the Eastern and Conference and shit like that. So what do you do then after what? So I think they want you to play 10 games within that group, or 9 games or something like that. So what do you do when you're 5 games in and you're already out? It's friendlies then, no?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what the cups to go for. You've no other league to play in. So what do you do?
And essentially, if it's midweek and you've played 5 games and you're out, that's 5 weeks. So what are you going to do? Like, the Premier League, there's 38 games a season in that. And that lasts way, way longer than 5 weeks. So it doesn't make sense. Financially, it doesn't make sense. You're going to, like, if they did go ahead with it, there would be this big, massive cash injection, but it's only going to be for 5 weeks. To me, it's not going to be substantial. Like, this is a point that I was going to bring back is, like, with that Will.
Just 1 second. Are you comfortable enough to talk to these guys while I just hop off and send the link in the chat for a minute so these guys can come on so I can pin it to it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. No worries. No worries.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Look, the thing with me is this whole idea of the Super League, it's not going to be sustainable for the way that it's going to go. I really don't think it is. There's so much that is consistently brought in by season ticket holders, by the players, fans themselves that come up specifically to get a Kane shirt, to get a Son shirt. Like, there's just so much revenue that's generated locally for the club that all of that's going to go. They are turning their back on the club. They're only worried about their own pockets. That's all they're trying to do. It's suiting their own agendas. It's completely wrong. Completely wrong. I know earlier on in the comments there, I seen somebody put in asking where I had found out about the Sarri information. And that had actually come from, I think it was Football Italia that I read that on. That's where that came from. So anybody that was wondering where that came from, that was where it was all from. Guys, do get onto that link. Guys, get in. Get your voices across. We all love hearing from you. That's what you're here for. We love to hear your opinions, what you think, what's going on. Make sure to hit that link, get in, and let's all hear your voice as to what you think.
At the door.
Big up, Arthur. Look, just quickly, sorry, the link is pinned to the chat above. If you guys, any of you do want to come on and have your say, have a conversation on what's going on today, it is free. But also make sure you smash like Mitch was saying, smash a like on the stream, subscribe on the channel, and don't be afraid to get them super chats in. Thank you so much for Mitch for that. You're an absolute natural, my man. But Arthur, what's your thoughts on today?
My thoughts on today?
Yeah.
Well, I think this Super League will go through. I think they've been talking about this behind closed doors for quite a while now. And to me, I think it will go through because there's too much money involved for them. And that's what it's all about, is money, you know? So I think it will go through. If I'm not happy about it, but this Super League, you know, they're talking about giving the clubs when they first come in so many billion euros. You know, that's a lot of money, so many billion euros. And then every year they're getting 350 million. You know, I think Levy's joined it for one, the money. So he's always got money. Two, we can't get less than 350 million pound every year through the, you know, through the Super League. And you imagine if you wanted to buy a player from, say, Leicester, and you're in the Super League, instead of saying, oh, we want 60 million for this player, the price now goes up. Oh, we want 160 million for this player because they know that you've got the money to spend, you know?
Yeah.
And the wages for these players in the Super League, they'll be astronomical. You know, I think one day you'll see a player on that with £500,000 a week in wages, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be so much money involved. And also, if they still allowed to play in the Premiership, Spurs are going to need two football teams, one for Wednesday nights and one to play in the Premiership. You know, we haven't even got one team, let alone two teams. But, you know, I think that I'm positive this Super League will go through. Whether or not Spurs get chucked out of the Premiership is another thing. I think this will all go to court. This will all be done with lawyers and everybody like that. But I think it will go through, personally. And if it does go through, I can't stop supporting Spurs. I've supported Spurs since I was, you know, bloody 5 years old. I'm now 70. So 65 years I've been supporting Spurs and all that. And
would it not feel like they're taking Spurs away from you, Arthur, in a sense?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that. They're taking away. But I feel sorry for the people. Now, I've seen Spurs play some fantastic games down White Hart Lane in the, you know, in the cups and in the Europe and all that lot. And I feel sorry for people what won't see Spurs get a cup. Because let's face it, if Spurs go in this Super League, we ain't going to win no Super Cups with them because there's too many better teams above us.
Yeah.
And in the same thing, it's all done for money. That's all it's done for. And Levy's thought, well, he hasn't thought of the fans. He hasn't thought of no one. Just money. That's all they've thought about. And, you know, that's it. That is it at the end of the day. And I'm sorry it's going to come to this, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Look, what I will say is to people, the link is pinned to the chat. It's up the top of the chat. Click it. Come on. If you want to have your say like Arthur is doing here. Arthur, what do you think on Jose Mourinho getting sacked today?
What do I think? I think they should have left it till the end of the season. You know, fancy sacking him before we play at Wembley on Sunday, because as you know, there's no one better for a one-off cup game in a final than Jose. You know, we could have won it. I'm not saying that, you know, he was the best man for the job. But the only thing I'm going to be disappointed about is if Mason picked some of the players that let Josie down, and we all know who they are, And
Yeah.
if they start playing Sunday and they play well, you know, they really turn up and play well, well, then you know that they wasn't playing for Jose. The team wasn't playing for Jose, and that's where half the problem was. I feel sorry for Jose. He's tried, but half his team didn't play for him at the end of the day. They just didn't play for him. So
No.
there you go.
100%. Sean, have you anything you'd like to ask Arthur?
What's the general feeling like around you, Arthur, for all of what you've heard today? We know there's been a lot of stuff that's been discussed, but like, have you been talking to any of your friends about what's gone on, and how's the general feeling over there with you?
Yeah, they all feel the same. You know, they feel let down, and they you know, they think Spurs are going to go nowhere. They've just joined this Super League that everybody says it's for the money. They know they're going to get so many £1 million each year, so they ain't going to be worried about non-fans going to the games. And let's face it, half of these games won't be played at the Spurs ground. They'll be played, like someone said before, they'll be played in New York or Tokyo or somewhere like that, you know, because this Super League will go all over the world with these games. You know, it's getting like the Americans, you know, the NFL and that lot. But that's where they will play these games, where the money is, you know, to open up the doors so they get more money in. And that's it, you know.
Yeah. 100%. And look, what do you think of Wayne Bonner's commentary? He says us Spurs fans are nothing more than cash cows, and that's how we'll be treated.
Sorry? Sorry.
Wayne Bonner says us Spurs fans are nothing more than cash cows, and that's how we'll be treated. Cash cows?
What does that mean?
Yeah. It's as in, like, you know, all they see us is to take money off us, like, with nothing in return.
Oh, I don't know what to mean. Sorry.
No worries. Big up Wayne Bonner. Big up Wayne Bonner.
I'm a bit stupid like that.
No, look, don't worry about it. Look, there's many expressions I don't understand in life as well, Arthur. It's no worries at all, my man. But come here, like, so for like someone like you, Arthur, who used to do things to be able to get into the game, you know what I mean? Like, used to sell things and all that sort of stuff to get into the game.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel now? How do you feel now that, like, you know, no longer will people be able to experience kind of what you experienced and all, to be able to go to games, that people won't be able to experience that now? And, you know, it's not really going to be Tottenham anymore, is it?
No. I feel very sorry for people. You know, for me, I had a great time with my mates getting into the Spurs ground, doing all different things, which they'll hear on my story. You know what I've done for you. You know, they'll hear all that, what we used to do. And I feel really sorry for the fans nowadays. You know, the fun's gone out of it. It was a lot of fun going to the match, you know, and well, it's a dark day today, really, that this has come out. A dark day for all the supporters, not only Spurs, for all the supporters. You know, it's just money. All the time is money. You know, there you go. What can you do?
It is. It's just becoming unbearable. It's pure greed. It's pure greedy. Like, you know, ticket prices are going to become astronomical. You're talking like, you know, flights, you know what I mean, accommodation, and it's not going to be accessible for the fans. You know, that have. It's all well and good people sitting here talking about the global fans. But what about the fans that have been buying season tickets for the last 20, 30, 40 years, who've kept the club going? What are they supposed to do?
Well, you tell me. They can't go to these games, can they? Because 1 week, you know, you might see on a Wednesday night Spurs play like Real Madrid or somewhere like that. And then the next week or something like that, they're away to Barcelona in America or something like that. You know, it's impossible. They can't get there. you know. So I don't know, making us for money, Arthur.
Yeah. And then someone here says Arthur's story would be a Netflix series. Big up Adam Phillips. But Sean, have you anything else you want to ask Arthur there before we let him go and bring on another guest?
Yeah, Arthur, how would you feel, say, if the Super League was a 1-year deal where we used it as a big influx for cash to clear the debt and to be able to buy in players? Do you think that'd still be a good idea? Or would you like to just remain the way we are and struggle for the next 12 months?
I think we'll struggle for more than 12 months, personally. If it was just for 1 year to clear our debts, I think a lot of people would, you know, I don't know. I think there'd be half and half. I don't even know that myself, really. Would it be a good idea? Would it not be a good idea? What do you think of it? Just a 1 year plan.
I'd like to get David's input on that first.
Look, 1 year plan for me, honestly, think it's stupid. What's the point? I get, you know, probably clear a lot of our debts and everything else, but then what is the point of having it? You know, what's the point of having it if it's 1 year? Like, to be honest with you, I like the Champions League format the way it is. I even preferred it before when they had 2 group stages, to be honest with you. You know, some fans might not remember that, but the Champions League at one stage had 2 group stages. You had to get through one to progress to another. But this whole new Euro Super League, I can't get on board. Look, when there's people out there starving, homeless, and can't afford a pair of shoes, you know, and you have these greedy shitbags who want to go off and do their own thing, you know what I mean, because it suits them. I just cannot go along with it. I can't go along with it. For me, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you, David, wholeheartedly. I agree with you with that. But the power men behind this football have thought about this for a long, long time, and it's going to happen. It will happen, you know, and it's going to be a sad, sad day for football when this does happen. You know, it'll just make rich men richer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you know, it is.
But, you know, I feel sorry for the other clubs as well, you know.
Just quickly, sorry. Mir Sadlit, he says, this is ridiculous, pathetic. Please check out my sports channel. No, what I'd say to you is first of all, you're blocked. You don't plug a channel without asking me. And second of all, you're pathetic, you're ridiculous with your stupid little channel as well. So you can jog on as well. Don't be so rude, man, when we're trying to do a show and have people on. So good luck. That's how I deal with people like you. Good night. Go home to mommy and cry. I'm sick of people like you. But Arthur, so look, we're going to leave it there, lad, because we do have a few more people in the background that I need to get on. So look, thanks very much for coming on, lad. I do appreciate that.
That's okay. There's 2 names I'm figuring about with my name for my channel.
Yeah, put them out there.
Arthur's Daily or Arthur's TV. They're the 2 names.
For Arthur Daily, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people, like my mates, say, Arthur Daily. So,
I think it has more of a ring to it, lad. It's a bit more catchy.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's definitely go with Arthur Daily. Anyway, is there anything you want to say to the lads or the viewers of that before I let you go, Arthur?
Yeah, I'd just like to say good night to everybody. Keep safe, and thank you for all the nice comments what I get, and I do appreciate all that. And as I say, keep safe, look after everybody, and bye-bye and good night. Good night, David. Good night, Sean.
See you, Arthur.
It's been See you later, Arthur. Pleasure talking with you, man. Take care.
Yeah.
And you, bye-bye. Bye.
Cheers, lads. Arthur's an absolute legend, so he is. Big up, Arthur. Next we have Awesome Awe. Let's bring on Awesome Awe. Awesome. Oh, by the way, sorry, quickly. Everybody, let Arthur know what you think is better. I think Arthur Daly's going to be the winner. I don't even think I need to ask, but you put it in the comment section because I know he tunes in. So let him know what you think. Well, Awesome Awe, how you keeping, my man? It's nice to get a face behind the name.
How you doing, man? Finally, how you doing? I'm gonna say a couple of things, and I'm gonna it's like a question. I'm gonna throw it to you guys, and I'm gonna answer. do finance, and I do know a little bit about finance and a little bit about business. So I'll tell you. If I were to ask you though, I mean, common sense. This is how they operate in America. I'm not trying to break it down for you because I'm in United States. Okay.
But the
If I
thing
ask
is,
you how many times,
just before you break it down and like the way things happen in America, like look, that can happen in America, but people don't want this over here in Europe. And I don't want to make an American
no,
versus Europe battle, because it's
I'm not talking about.
But all I keep hearing is, oh, this is what happens over here. But people don't want that over here. People just want it to be left alone the way it is.
Yeah, but I'm trying to break something down about the club first. I'm not even going to the the new system. I'm just gonna ask a question. How many times did Poch went to Champions League?
How many times did he get in there?
Yeah.
I don't know, what, 3-4 times, was it?
Four times. Each time is 250 million, right? So if you multiply 250 million times 4, that's $1 billion. So if you look at what they did, what Levy and Enoch did was they embezzled the money for the whole thing, kept it in their own personal pocket. As soon as fans started complaining, they give them a peanut, and the peanut was the stadium. And then when they say, "Oh, let's give them the stadium," they'll be quiet, and that's what they did. They just gave you guys the stadium, and you guys were quiet. But the whole time, Poch was complaining, "I needed players. Give me players. If I was Nagelsmann, I won't take the job because it's a trap." The whole thing was Jose fell for the trap. It was a trap because people were complaining, "We want the cup, we want the cup, we want the cup." Who's gonna be the trap? Let's get Jose. And Jose fell for it, and it became a trap. I'm just telling you now. You guys are complaining about the new thing. They're gonna give you. Sacking Jose was supposed to work so that people will start talking about it, but it didn't work. So he's gonna look for Nagelsmann as a trap, as the next trap. So if I was Nagelsmann, I won't get into it because other club might be trying to get into this Super League for a different reason. But Levy is trying to get in there to get as much money inside his own pocket, not just for the club, for his own personal pocket. In a stream, I said to them, I said, Tottenham is not a football club anymore. It's an entertainment business. I said it at the stream. I think I said it on Will's stream. It was like, really? Can it be? Because it is. And this Super League makes it very easy to create that atmosphere, to become an entertainment place. It's not a football club anymore. It's now an entertainment place. Because right now they're gonna be bringing people they're gonna sell the title of the name of the stadium. They're gonna sell it to somebody, get money out of that one. 2, they're gonna bring other people in to get to finance the whole thing. And when they want to do that, they're gonna do music concert, they're gonna do other stuff there. It won't even be anything close to football anymore. And this even makes it much, much easier for them to go that route. Easy. Like, yes, we got the money's coming in. Forget about the fan, forget about everybody. Let's just jump into that. Because they have stolen so much money from the club, so much that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Just the money from the Champions League alone is enough to build the stadium. But they didn't. They took all that money in their pocket and went to loan money to build the stadium. And when we're talking about, Jose said, I needed players. Levy was adding more chairs. Remember, it was supposed to be 62. It was 60,000. He added more extra chairs. So look at the way it thinks. It thinks for the money. While you guys are, anytime you guys are complaining, it will give you like let's just give them a peanut. Let's just give it. And that's how it works in America. That's why I said in America, that's how it works. When employers are complaining, the employee will give them a peanut to keep them quiet. And that's how it works. And that's what he's doing. And that's what we are. Right now, find Jose before the game he was supposed to be the one to win it. He fired them to keep the fans quiet. Like, people right now, if you had fired him like 2 weeks ago, everybody would be so happy. Right now, you fired him right after people were like, we don't want Tottenham in the Super League. We don't want, we don't want Tottenham. Yeah. Everybody else can do everything, but we don't want Tottenham. And as soon as he fired Jose to keep people quiet. But instead, it didn't work. And now it's like, oh, there's news going around like niggas man is coming, niggas man is coming, niggas man is coming, and everybody's like, woo, yeah, maybe, you know.
Man's not coming.
Then, I mean, why would you want to come to a place that you know when you get there, you're not gonna be supported, you're not gonna get no money, you're not gonna get anything. Everything that you're trying to do is not gonna work because you're not gonna get zero support. Because if anything is not, if you say, okay, I want the guy that plays for number 10, that plays 10 for Man U. We were fighting for that guy so bad. Bruno Fernandes. We were all fighting. Oh, we want Bruno. Everybody want Bruno. We all fighting, you know. And look at it. We never got it. You know, anybody that wants so much the best of the best, it just don't come. They'll give you scrap. They'll find a cheaper option and go. Like right now, if Nagelsmann said, hey, I'd rather stay in Germany where I know I'm protected, I'm not going to get a job in 1.5 years, I'm going to be fired. Because if Nagelsmann come here, he's definitely not going to play Ali because Ali is too slow. The Nagelsmann play a fast game. You have to be able to run constantly. And if you look at the way Poch was training Kane, that's why Kane even come and said, the only way I was able to run and do everything because Poch forced us to run constantly. Running was usually what they do in training. They don't do anything else but keep running. But Ali cannot run. And the guy came in, the first thing he said, Ali is a lazy trainer. I just cannot stand a lazy trainer. He said, I cannot stand a lazy trainer. He's too lazy. And the reason why Poch ended up using him because he doesn't have anybody else to use to play in that spot. But they might talk about Jose is bad, but Jose was able to pull out some people, not all of it. I'm not saying that if you look at some people were able to play that number 10, but Ali has more talent in that number 10. But guess who has been playing the old number 10 the whole time? Harry Kane. He was playing defense, he was playing midfield, he was playing striker, he was playing the whole game by himself. Do you know how many times, if you count in every game, tell me, how many times have you seen Harry inside the keeper's post heading the ball out? Not one, not twice, not three, in every game. He runs inside the post to head the ball out the whole time. I mean, how can you have a striker going all around the field? All around the field. He was the best number 10. He was the best number 8. It was the best number 4. Do you know the last game we played? You see how deep Harry Kane has to drop. I've never seen in any team where the striker drops that low to support the defense and the midfield to get the ball forward. You know, it's like we should have a lot of Harry all over the field. That's what I was saying. Like another Harry be on the, be across, be on top, be in front. And that's where we are right now. It's painful.
One thing, Osmo, sorry to cut across you there, but I do know I would consider Harry Kane to be one of our stronger headers and one of our strongest aerial threats as well in the team. So I think that's why you'll see him back there for corners, for free kicks, to be in there to win headers, because we know Sanchez, we've seen the ball go over his head countless times. Like, realistically, the only other strong person that you would have in the air in there would be Toby. So we've seen it as well, how we just we switch off when it comes to set plays and set pieces against us. So I think the reason why Harry's back there so often is to give us that boost, the confidence, and to have another strong person in there. So I don't think if it was up to him, I'm sure he'd more than likely be happy to sit up at the halfway line and make a run in and score on the counter attack. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to do that week in, week out. But at the end of the day, I think he's just doing what is required to have him do in the team, which is great because, he is flexible like that. But I think that's why we see him back there so often.
Yeah. Just quickly there, lads, just a couple of chats to get to. Big Time Gunter, big up Big Time Gunter, or Gurter, sorry. I'm an American and got into sport due to the relegation promotion system because the stakes. I hate American sports due to threat of anything. Just retry next year. 100%. I exactly get what you're saying. Big yourself up for that comment, my man. And then Tottenham teacher says, my parents came to America with nothing. The parents left them here. I love this game specifically because of the history in England. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry, guys. No, look, 100% Tottenham teacher. But don't be sad. That's well, try not to be sad. We're all sad. And then just on this one, it's Clegg UK. How are you keeping, my man? I hope everything's all right. And look, I know times are now to be down, but lad, we have the League Cup final coming up at the weekend. Lift your head, and make sure you come on and see me on Friday. I'll definitely get you pumped up for the game and make you put a smile on your face and make you happy. But my man, just keep the head up. My DMs are always open if you ever need to talk on Twitter. It's at the Irish Y. Don't be afraid to get in contact with me. But big up, Ethan, you legend. Thank you so much, man. Sorry, Awesome. I'll continue.
Yeah. Like I said, my take on this issue is, if we were to bring an attacking manager,
yeah,
and we are pretty much banking like let's score more goals than the other person, because technically if we score one, they score one. If we score two, they score two. Like the Everton game, not the last one, the one before, the one in the middle for the FA Cup. You see what happened? We score one, they score one. They score two, we score two. They score three, we score. We went overtime, and the guy just came from nowhere. The guy came from nowhere and scored 5. I mean, it was painful. That was painful. I mean, that was painful to watch. Everything started. I think Jose technically saw what Poch was saying in the West Ham game. You remember that West Ham game? Because if you look at it very well, he allowed free play. He never did played anything defense. He said, everybody just play. Just play. Don't worry, just play. And you scored within the first 5 minutes of this game, you scored 3 goals. I was so excited, jumping up. And within the last 3 minutes of the end of the game, or no, not within the last 30 seconds to the end of the game, they scored 3. The third goal against us.
Yeah.
So just looking at the way everything is, if you realize that after that West Ham game, that was when Jose started packing the bus. Right after that West Ham game. It wasn't before, it was right after.
Yeah.
So why would you say a defensive coach is playing an attacking game, but you said he doesn't like to play that? But he does. But as soon as he saw that the defense is not capable, he said, oh, I'm going to start packing the bus every day and just do counteracting game, because this defense cannot hold on to anything. Because it tried the same thing again. If you look at it very well, during that FA game, it tried to do it was an attacking game. It didn't hold them back, it let them attack. But the defense cannot hold. If you attack, they cannot hold. If you defend, they cannot hold. So either which way, they cannot hold. That's why it does. And if you read in between the lines very well, because when I listened to Jose's press conference, I tried to kind of read between the lines. He already knew he was going to be fired weeks before.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the way he was looking, normally when he talks, he talks in a very jokey way. He will say something smart and people will laugh. Yeah. But he was just down, looking down. The guy was asking him question. He was like, huh? What did you say? What did you say again? Can you repeat that question? That means that his mind is not even there. Like, they probably told him you're fired already, but we're just going to wait till we find it, we found a replacement. And remember when that news, the same thing happened to Poch, when that little news started coming out like, oh, we are talking to another manager, we're talking to another manager, we're talking to another manager, he knew he was gone. That's why he was fired for the same reason. He didn't come to training too. In the documentary, he didn't come, the coach said, I'm not going to come to training too. Yeah. And he was fired for the same, I'm not going to come to training too, because you told me weeks ago I'm fired, but you still want me to come and train for what purpose? you know?
100%. 100%. But look, Awesome, I have to say you've been 100% spot on, my man. And I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. I hope to see you again. But I do have other guests in the background there to bring on. But honestly, I've watched John Will Stewart and I like what you have to say, my man.
All right, thank you. See you again.
Thank you for coming on. And it's nice
All
to
right.
put a face behind the name. You're a legend.
All right. Thank you. Come on, you Spurs. See you guys later. See you, Sean.
Come on, you Spurs,
See you
and I'll
later,
see you again.
Arsenal.
Bye.
Some good points, man. Well done.
All
Great
right.
point. Well done, my man. Absolutely brilliant guest there, lads, by Osama. Absolute legend. And we have Hassan here. He's been waiting for a while. So big up, Hassan. How are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just quickly, Nathan Callos, it's a great show, David. Thank you so much, man. It's good to see you back. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's all right, my man. But Hassan, you were saying you think the European Super League is going to be a positive. So why don't you tell us why?
No, but then like think about it, like in like the perspective of, for example, like Levy, you know. So what would you do right now? Like this is a question for you. Like you know that you're Daniel Levy. What would you do? Would you like join all the other big clubs or just stay in the Premier League?
No, look, honestly, 100%. If you're Daniel Levy, of course you're going to do it, but that's because he's blinded by money. He always has been and always will be. But you know, there's ethics to this, you know, and they just don't care. They just don't care. But anyway, yeah, there's the answer to your question. Oh, are you there, Hassan? Oh, you're on mute, man.
I actually just want to jump in with what Hassan was saying there, and like, you know, with what you were saying as well. If we didn't go with the Super League, Chelsea are gone, like City are gone, United are gone, Arsenal are gone. If we stay, there's a good chance that we could dominate the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like, I know our players aren't great, but realistically, if you have Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, if they all go, like, who do you have to compete with? Look, man, if it was me, I'd be saying, oh, yeah, look, cool, right, let's do it, yeah. And then at the last minute, pull the plug and be like, no, you're grand, lads, we're going to stay here and win the Premier League next year, and we're going to go into the Champions League, and we're going to win that. And we're going to have a massive cash injection. We're still, do you know what I mean? Like, realistically, it would make massive sense to do something like that. Why go off and compete with the biggest of the biggest and the best every year and continue struggling the way that we are, when you could stay and dominate fucking everything? It's madness.
No, that's a good way of looking at it. Tottenham teacher says here, another good angle is why German clubs are not in the new league. German clubs must have 51% fan ownership, and since fans are against this, no way will they join. 100% Tottenham teacher. Spitting pure facts there, my man. And look, guys, me and Sean are going to go here for probably another 5 minutes or that. So look, guys, make sure you have smashed a like on the screen and subscribe on the channel. And it is your last chance to get your super chats in, whether it's just to show your appreciation for the stream, whether you have something you want to say. But either way, it is a great way to help the channel grow. But no, Sean, that's a good point, you know. No one's kind of really spoke about that today, that if we did let them European clubs go, but then you're missing out on Europe then, aren't you? And you know, like that's the thing, that's the tough one to take, you know.
Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, right, if you don't go and then there's penalties put in on effectively the top 4 teams that are in the league, like if City go and if they get knocked out, if United decide to go with it, they get knocked out. Liverpool are very close to us on points. Chelsea are ahead of us, so if Chelsea go too, that's 3 clubs taken out of the way. And then before you know it, we're up in top 4. And you do have Champions League next year. Like, and then you're looking at a top 4 finisher. Who knows? Like, you've got Leicester to compete with, you've got Everton to compete with, you've West Ham to compete with. So who knows whatever way the last 2 games of the season could go. You know, it could go anyway. If it was up to me, I'd take my chances. I'd say, no, you lads go off, have your fun with yourselves for whatever amount of time you want to do that. We're going to stay here, and we're going to absolutely smash the league out of it, and we're going to guarantee ourselves Champions League football next year. Like, why not, man? Why not?
Yeah, 100%. Well, John Fitzpatrick, his reason why not would be because he says the cash won't be there if you're not in the Super League. How do we get around the cash flow? Look, to be honest with you, if we didn't go Super League, what you're going to have is a packed out White Hart Lane Stadium. So you're going to get the revenue. You're going to get the revenue from match day. You're still going to get Sky and BT revenue. So the money, there will still be money there. You just won't be able to compete with these clubs. But if they're forming their breakaway league and it's only them anyway, and they get kicked out of all the other leagues, but then let them have it. That's my opinion. Big time Gorter. I absolutely love the name, man. It makes me laugh. I won't say why, but they should deduct points from these teams, and more teams should get promoted. 100%. And Wayne Bonner says, another great stream today, David. Been a long 24 hours, 100%. You can hear it in my voice, man. So you can. But no,
Dave,
man.
I'm just going to jump off. I've got to go down to the kids there.
I will go in there now, yeah.
Thank you so much for having me on today, man. I really, really appreciate it. Big up to all the guests you've had on. Everybody throwing in super chats and comments. It's absolutely great. I know it's been a long day on everybody. Again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, make sure you definitely smash that button. Get over there. Dave has savage content week in, week out. And big up to Dave as well. He puts in serious man hours that nobody sees. Just keep it going, man. Keep it going. It's absolutely incredible.
No, thank you so much, man, and big yourself up. Look, this channel wouldn't be going if people like you, Matt, Will, everybody else that comes on the channel, everyone that helps them, with the super chats, everybody that smashes the like, everybody that smashes subscribe. This channel would be absolutely nothing without you. Look, I'm not one of these greedy people. Forget about the fans. I know every single one of my fans' names. You know what I mean? So big yourselves up. But look, we are going to leave it off there, guys. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's been a long day. And big up Sean. And look, at the end of the day, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.